How's it going, guys? It's a beautiful day here in Nebraska, and I'm excited to set up something new here. What could be in this Hoyt bag, you might ask? Well, that would be a Hoyt Satori recurve bow. Yes, that is right, a recurve. About 9 years ago, my grandfather passed away, and I inherited an old recurve bow from him, and it's a really cool one. And it's kind of just been hanging on the wall as a centerpiece since then. And last year I just felt like the good Lord was telling me to take that thing off the wall and use it, and I did, and started getting into traditional archery and learning it, the ins and outs of it. Did a little turkey hunting last year with that old bow of my grandfather's, and I just fell in love with traditional archery. I've already taken it out and kind of got it set up and learned the bow a little bit. But I wanted to show you guys kind of how it comes. If you are into traditional archery, in my opinion, I think the Hoyt Satori is one of the best out there, especially for the money. It is a really cool bow. ILF limbs, so you can get a lot of different limbs for it. Expensive ones, cheaper ones. The Hoyt ones, obviously, are my favorite. But we've got it here. Comes in this really nice bag. So let's open it up here, and we will check it out. One nice thing about a takedown bow like this is what I consider like a takedown. You got a riser and the limbs that can be taken apart. You can get different pound limbs. So one thing that is really important when you start out with traditional archery, in my opinion, is don't start out with too much weight. Even if you need to start with like a 30-pound bow to get your form down and everything like that, do it. And then you can move up to 40, 45, 50 pounds or whatever you feel comfortable drawing. But here is the Hoyt Satori riser. This is a 17-inch riser. I went with the shortest setup that I could go with, which comes out to be about 58 inches in total length when everything is put together. Got this in the bourbon color. Looks pretty darn cool. When you get your Hoyt Satori, you're gonna have this strike plate right here to install. It's very simple to install. You basically just slide it through the burger hole here, tighten it in, and you're done. I put this little deal on here. It just holds your arrow when you're in the tree stand. If the wind's blowing or whatever, it don't fall off. You're also going to get a rest right here for the shelf. If you're wanting to shoot off the shelf, you could also use like a plunger rest or something like that on here if you wanted to, but I definitely wanted to shoot off the shelf, so that is how I have it set up. One really cool and unique thing about the Hoyt Satori is it actually comes with these little spacers right here, and what those will do is help you fine-tune this thing. So they actually slide in here behind your strike plate, and that's going to move your strike plate in and out from the riser slightly so that you can get your tune perfect depending on what diameter arrow you're shooting. Set the riser off to the side here and get these beautiful limbs out. Here is the limbs to the Hoyt Satori. Right here, I elected to go with what they call their maple limbs. They look like maple wood. They're really pretty, and they just kind of had that traditional look to them. So that is what I went with. What you're going to notice is you're going to want to pay attention on here. These are 45-pound limbs that I went with also. You're going to want to look back here on the back. It's going to tell you what limb is what. So this is the top limb. So to put them in the riser is so simple with this ILF system. They literally just snap into place like so. It is so easy. There's just like a little button basically right here, and that just slides into a little slot right there. I hope that focuses on there maybe, but just slides in right there and snaps into place, and there you have your Hoyt Satori together. Pretty darn cool. Set this down here. It's going to also come with a string, obviously. I've got this one all set up, ready to go. Really nice strings from Hoyt. And I also have my quiver mount in here. The Hoyt quivers are going to fit directly into your Hoyt Satori. I'll show you that here. This just is going to pop into your riser like so. Just like on your compound, you're going to have a bolt here that goes on the back side. Screw that in there. And then you will be able to have a quiver on your bow, which is always nice, so you're not carrying arrows all over the place. Just tighten down in here quick. And then I've got a bourbon colored quiver here also. It's going to slide right in, tighten down, and other than putting the string on it, she's pretty well set up, guys. It's pretty simple to set these things up. I'm excited to go out and get this thing tuned and ready to go, and I have a feeling she is going to be a very smooth shooter. We'll get the string on here. So on your top limb, you're going to have a little bit bigger loop on the string that's going to slide down your limb here, and then your bottom one will basically just always stay connected to the limb. First thing, when you get these things strung up, that you're going to want to know, you're going to want to get a good bow stringer. I've got one right here, and I'll show you guys. I'll demonstrate how you string these bows up. One thing about a recurve, for somebody that's new to it, you do not want to leave your recurve strung all the time. You're going to end up warping your limbs if you do that. Keep it strung while you're hunting, while maybe you're traveling to and from your hunting spot, whatever. When you get home that evening or in the morning or whenever you're done, make sure you unstring it, hang it back up, and string it up again then when you are ready to go back out hunting or shoot it in the backyard or whatever. One really cool thing I do want to talk about real quick with the limb system on this bow, which is very, very unique and very cool, is you can set your tiller. Now, what is a tiller, you might ask? Tiller is basically the measurement when this thing is strung up from your limb pocket right here to the string on both sides. Depending on if you shoot 3 fingers under, split finger, or maybe a crawl, or you string walk, we'll talk about all that stuff eventually. You might need to set your tiller different to have your bow tuned correctly. It just kind of depends on how you shoot and all that, but you can actually loosen up a bolt right back here in the riser. You're going to loosen the bolt right here, and then that is going to allow you to loosen this bolt up and move this limb in and out, or your bottom limb in and out, to get your tiller adjusted for how you shoot. There's a lot of different videos and forums and different things out there that can show you how to adjust your tiller for how you shoot. Like I said, for 3 fingers under, split finger, we can talk about that as well. Pretty cool that you can tune this thing to you. A lot of bows, you just get them, you got to deal with it. But to be able to tune this thing specifically to you is pretty darn awesome. So yeah, that is the Hoyt Satori, guys. It is a beautiful bow, got a great grip. On the Hoyt Satori, I do believe they recommend your brace height to be anywhere between 7.5 and 8.5 inches. You can kind of play with that yourself, and what I like to do is start at 7.5 and work my way up. And to change that, all you're going to do is just twist the string. You're going to twist that string. If you tighten the string up, it's going to give you more brace height. If you loosen that string up, it's going to give you less brace height. And basically what you're going to want to do is kind of move that brace height in that recommended range, shoot it a few times at each setting, and figure out where your bow is the quietest and the smoothest and feels best to you. Go with that. So say when you're done shooting, you like it at 8 inches, maybe write somewhere on your limb or your riser, or just have a note somewhere that, hey, every time you string this up, it needs to be set at a brace height of 8 inches, which is the distance from the deepest part of your grip here to the string when it is strung up. I'm going to move the camera here, and I'm going to show you guys how to string a recurve with a stringer. It's very simple. I recommend always doing it with a bow stringer so that it stays safe and you do not hurt your bow. So let's move the camera here, show you guys how to string it up, and yeah, pretty darn awesome. I will say one thing about a Hoyt. A Hoyt just feels at home in my hands. The grip on a Hoyt, in my opinion, there's just nothing better. But let's get this thing strung up. Okay guys, move the camera over here. If you hear a little wind noise, I got my fans on upstairs. We're up here in the man cave. Hopefully it won't cause a whole lot of weird noise for you, but basically what you're going to do, and my stringer is a little bit different. I found this online. I can't even remember where I found it, but it's actually got these little cups that are going to go on the tips of your limbs that are rubberized, and I really like that. It's the only one that I've ever seen like this, but the bigger cup, if you have one like this, a stringer like this, is going to go over your bottom limb where the string is already around the limb here. So you're just going to slide that over just like that. Turn it around here, and then the smaller little cup here is just going to go right here on the tip of the top limb. Most of the time, most of the stringers that I have seen, it actually like slides down. Instead of having a cup that goes around the tip, it kind of has a piece that like slides down on the limb that you kind of slide where you want, like a rubber piece. But I really like how this one works. Like I said, I can't remember exactly where I found it, but I found it online. If you look hard enough, you can probably find one. But I'll step back here and kind of show you. You want to make sure your string is nice and lined up here, which mine is. And then all you're going to do is you're going to step in the middle of that stringer, and you're going to pull up, flexing those limbs, and you're just going to slide that string up and set it into the limb. And then you just simply take the stringer off the bow, and you're set and ready to go. I've already kind of got my nocking point on this one and everything ready to go. I am going to be shooting some Easton Axis arrows. These are 5mm, 500 spine. We are shooting, I think this is an 80 grain stainless steel insert in here with a 150 grain tip. You're going to find out with traditional archery, you definitely want a good heavy arrow to get that penetration. But it's just a bare shaft here, and in the next video we are actually going to learn how to bare shaft tune one of these things, and that's the first thing you're going to want to do, guys, is bare shaft tune your recurve. It's very simple to do, and you won't be sorry if you do it, because you're going to get amazing arrow flight, and that is key with a recurve. So I hope you guys enjoyed seeing the Hoyt Satori here. This first episode was kind of just an intro to the Hoyt Satori. It's a beautiful bow. I'm super excited to get this thing out and shoot it. I've got some really big deer this year. My buddies keep joking with me like, oh yeah, you know, the year that you're gonna hunt with a recurve, you got some of the biggest and highest scoring deer you've had in a long time, and you know, that seems to be the truth. So hopefully the good Lord will bless me, and I can get one of those big deer killed with this bow. If not, we're definitely going to shoot a doe or two with it, and work my way up in the traditional world, and it's gonna be fun. I'm excited, guys. I'm excited for the challenge, so it should be fun. But if you're looking for a really good takedown recurve, it's gonna last you a long time. You know, you're gonna be able to do a lot of adjustments with this thing and tune it. That's one of my favorite things about it. You know, look no further than the Hoyt Satori, guys. It's a beautiful bow, and I think you guys are gonna like it. So we'll catch you in the next one, guys. See you later.